Good morning, everyone. This is Pacifier. I'm here to do my everything else besides my big three, and so I just wanted to let you know. Okay, I'm going to turn this thing around and we'll get to it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Well, here we are. I forgot to show you in my sleep system that I did have a silk liner that I had inside to protect my bag, and it was so nice just to be able to wash that every time I went to town, so it kept my bag good and clean. So I'm going to talk about the things I wear basically on the outside of my pack right now, and one of those to carry my phone is this little clip otter. I clip it on my chest pack like that. If that was, I'd pull shit down on my clip and then put it on the front. That would hold my phone really quick and easy. I tried it with putting it in and out of chest pouches, and it just was not quick enough to get, or it just wasn't as comfortable. So anyway, that's what that is. Of course, everybody knows what that is. That's my Z-Seat. Love this thing. I use it for just about everything. I just end up putting it in the inside of my tent or outside of my tent and crawl in and out of the tent with it. So I'm not on my knees getting in the mud or the rain or dirt. Or I put it inside with my tent and have put my shoes on it. Muddy shoes or dirty boots or whatever. This is my Lakey cork light poles. I love these things. I put up here the reflective tape on here. That way, at night, if I've got them leaning against a tree or I've set them down somewhere, I can find them pretty quick. So that has helped me a few times. And I did put some tape here around for the, to have extra, you know what kind of tape. The tape that fixes everything. But I love them. They're great. They saved me a bunch of times. I have been practicing without them right now, and just trying to get my balance and, tweak those little, strengthen those little bitty muscles in my feet and ankles without having to have something to sort of balance on. And I think it's helped so far, but I really am going to use these because there was one time in particularly, I could have went over the side if that thing hadn't have grabbed me. And I would have I think a tree would have caught me, but it would have been tough. I at least wouldn't wanted to try it. So I will be taking those. And they work great. Everything I'm talking about so far has worked great. And on the outside, I put this so that I can get a hold of this in my toilet paper and some little, I use these little napkin things here that you just put a tablespoonful of water and it expands. You wash your hands or your face or whatever else you want to wash off when you go into the bathroom. And of course, my deuce of spades. You always want to make sure you use this. Then I carry my, most of the time, unless I've got not a lot of food or something, I will put these in the pack just to get them out of the way. But I carry these usually with 2 clips on my back of my pack so that they, because they can get dirty, even though these are not real dirty right now, but they can get dirty and muddy. So I am thinking about, these work great, but they're heavy. I'm thinking about maybe getting something lighter. So anybody got some suggestions, I'd appreciate it. Oops. The other thing I carry on the outside of my pack, and I could not live with this, Sweet Thing and I just love this thing. This is from ZPack. It's their 4-in-1 pouch where you can just use it for everything, for a chest pouch, for a belly pouch, to carrying it into town, over your shoulder. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's waterproof. However, they say it's not. I mean, not to depend on that, because it is the Cuban fiber. You can get it in Dyneema too. But I love this thing. It just holds a lot. It'll hold, you know, a regular water bottle will go in there nice and easy. A couple, 3, 4 of those, and it's just big. And this is to show you the straps. I'm not going to be using the wide straps. They give you a thin strap. So I'll use, they give you 2 sets of straps so you can hook it onto your pouch, and on your pack, and it's really easy. But I probably will take the thinner ones. If I find I need the thicker ones or whatever, then I may send for those. But I just use it as a belly pouch, and I don't tie it down but in 2 places. I mean, you know, hanging it from my pouch. It moves a little bit, but in a way I'm thinking, as long as I'm not hiking with somebody and it's aggravating them, then it doesn't matter, because it's making a little noise. And hopefully if there's a snake or a bear or something I don't want to meet up with, will hear me coming down the trail. So anyway, love my ZPacks. We'll carry that again, and I can't do without that, really. And then what I carry in that pouch is usually, and I'll just skip over here to do that, is usually, you know, like my Appalachian passport, anything like your pass to get to the Smokies, anything like that goes in here to be protected. This is another ZPack's little bag. And you can get them different sizes, so if you need something bigger or whatever. And inside that, too, I'll carry my little notebook. This is a little notebook. I usually have a write book, which you can write in the sun. I mean, write in the rain, but I don't have that one, so I just put that there. My little compass, it's a little cheap thing, but it helped me a few times when I was on the trail, when I came up to different areas and was a little confused at where I am and didn't see any blazes right away. So, you know, I enjoyed that. The other thing is I carried a few of these little hand towels there. Again, you just put one tablespoonful of water on there. It takes a little water, and it just spans out, and they're really strong, and wipe your face off, your hands off before you eat or whatever. Always carry my chapstick. And of course, you know, got pens to write with, fingernail clippers, and sometimes that doesn't go with me. That'll go in my accessory bag. Knife I always have that my mother gave me, the last present she gave me before she died. And of course, I've learned with the Smokies and out there, you got a lot of bugs. So I carry a little mesh bug thing all the time with me, because I'm telling you, them bugs can wear you down. A little comb. This represents a little comb or something. I'll do something a little lighter probably. And then this, you know, I always carry food, you know, snacks, or sometimes I'll carry my lunch. And that's usually what I do. I'd get my, I'd already eat breakfast and have my coffee and all that. So then I'd get my lunch and all my snacks for the day, and any of my drinks or anything that I was going to have, you know, during the day, and get them and put them inside the pouch. So all I have to do is grab them. This represents hand cream, which is the working hands. I usually carry that. My hands tend to get dry, and so I take a little bitty container of that with me and get it sent to me along the way. I also take butt cream. I don't know, I didn't have that with me, but it's what, if you'll look in the bicycle area, they have it. And I guess you could use other kind of cream, but I found that if I put that on before I hiked in the morning, I didn't have any chafing at all. So maybe too much information, but it really helped me. So you might want to look into putting some of that. And then I just had that sent along with me to each place. You know, it would last, you know, a while, so I didn't have to worry about that. So anyway, the next thing is, you know, some eye drops. You know, if I got something in my eyes, or if it was pollen happened to be bad that day, good or bad. That's good because that means everything's blooming. So that's everything that goes in my little ZPacks. And sometimes it'd be more, sometimes it'd be less. I tried to keep it down. It's hard to keep it down because that little booger will hold a lot. So, okay, and then the next thing I have is just my general stuff. This is my medical. This represents my medical, and there again, girls and boys, I took too much of that. I do have my space blanket in here, emergency blanket. I did have some emergency matches, Imodium for diarrhea, some tenacious tape for repair, of course a little thing in case you get a tick or something like that. Anyway, that was my medical. That will be going down. That worked okay. It's just that I carried too much. And there again, I was thinking about other people. Well, what if Charlotte scrapes, or Sweet Thing scrapes her knee, and I bang my knee and got a big old gash or whatever. So anyway, take what you need, and then you can always get more. So there again, extra of these towels. I used about 10 of these, I guess, during the day. And that would be for cleaning up, eating, or just walking around. Sometimes I'd use less, but I always sort of figured out 10 a day. And I know that's a lot, but it really helped to get back to camp and clean up, you know. A little mirror, it's real thin, you know, just to check yourself. Of course, some athlete's feet stuff, some antibiotic cream. I put some tape around there for blisters. I'm sorry, I'm not showing you. Antibiotic cream. We have earplugs. Gold Bond. I may not take that. For some reason, I didn't use that, but so probably I may not take that, or I may put it in a smaller container and take it. It's still small, but it's not small enough. Some Bonner soap. The unscented kind I just put in there. Of course, I've used some of it out of here, but you don't use much of that. But if you need it at night, it's great to have to clean up with if you need that. Or there again, and it doesn't smell, so you don't have to worry about the, you know, smelling like a peppermint or whatever. Not that that's good. I mean, I like that, but I would just not have anything that smelled, I guess. This represents my vitamins. I always took, you know, at least a week's full of vitamins in case something happened and I missed a drop or something, because there are some medicines and vitamins medicines that I need. I have a thyroid problem, so I have to take a thyroid pill every day. And so anyway, just to be safe, I'd carry extra ones of those. A glass case, I'll take a thinner one than this, but it's always nice to have those. And I may not take it because I don't really need it. Because my glasses I'm wearing all the time, or I'll put them in the tent and that'll be it. Body Glide, this is a must. You need that. I put that on every morning. Toothbrush, toothpaste, of course, you know. And then, of course, Sweet Thing bought me this thing, and it's got the floss with it. People say you don't need any, you know, any kind of sunscreen, but if you'll look at Dixie's, she got blistered really bad the first day, so, or the first week or so. So be careful with that. You may want to carry a little bit. That's a little overkill, so I'll probably, you know, put it in a little container and take it. But and then that's what that stuff went into, was my Sea to Summit bag. So that's those accessories, and then we'll come over here to my electronics, and of course these are the cords for my phone, my battery, my Anchor battery, and I did take, you know, my little iPod thing, and I didn't use it, so I'm thinking maybe I will not start out with that. So that's something I did not use, but now I just enjoyed listening to the music and the mountains. You know, the wind blowing, the birds singing, leaves dropping, you know, whatever. I enjoyed that. So I may change my mind, especially as I get going longer and longer. This was a little overkill, probably, but I really liked it. It's an Anchor, and it's a 26.8 milliamp thing. I did, however, when I had shorter sections, take a 10,000 milliamp, and that was lighter. And I may do that for a while and just see how it did. But anyway, this worked. It just did not, it was just heavy. This represents the two outlet thing I have to plug in to, in case I'm plugging in both these things at the same time. But I couldn't find it. I must have left it at the RV. So that's electronics, except for my phone. I do have my phone. And I always put whatever I didn't have up front with me in my ZPack's pack. I put it in a plastic bag, especially, you know, this thing, and, you know, and of course sometimes I had them smaller places, smaller things. So water, Sawyer, love this thing, great flow. Just use this to adapt and put right on top of my bottle from the Sawyer, and just be able to fill it up with my little Evernew. And I love this thing. It's tough. This is a 2-gallon. I think you can get, or 2 liter. You can get 1 liter or 3 liters now, I think. But I loved it because, against anything else I saw out there, because this thing sets down. It's like this. You can see this is setting on the bed. It's got this kind of bottom. And, of course, I haven't got anything in it. So, but this, it's like this thing, and it sets down when you put it down. And so, therefore, you didn't have to worry about everything falling all over and getting dirt all over it and wet, it being wet, and leaves and, you know, all that stuff. I use this as my little extra dip thing in case I couldn't get to stuff. It was a little, I cut it a little small, so I may change and get something else. And of course, you guys know, use smart water bottles. This was carried, actually, both of these, all of this was really carried on the outside in a side pocket. So that worked real well for me. So that's it. I am going to go this year, I guess, with a micro Sawyer. They say I'm getting good results on that. Always carry your extra smart bottle. I usually use, I've got the 1 liter bottles here, but I usually use the 750 milliliter. And this, it comes with this kind of cap. But I always save you a couple of these, because this thing will break off, and then you know, you won't be able to use it. So, or you can, but you're a little afraid of putting your lips on that thing. And then I always carry a smart bottle extra too, just in case it leaks or something. I may or may not carry this. I did carry it, but just in case I ever converted and wanted to put a hose with this and do the gravity method. However, I don't think I will, because I don't want to deal with a hose and having to try to keep it clean. So that's my water system. And I would go back with all of this. I have been looking at the one that CNOC or whatever it is, and I like that one, except that it doesn't have the bottom that I like. You know, I like this flat bottom here, and this is tough. You know, and if you're going to order one of these, it took me a while to get this because it comes from Japan, I think. So just if you're going to order one of these bags, order it early. This is my cook system. And of course, I've got the titanium totes, 750 milliliter. I kept my cloth in here. And then I would take and throw my canister in here. See if I can do this with one hand and cover the little booger up. And then, of course, there's the lips for it, for when it was, if I was going to drink my coffee out of it. I carry a smaller mug. If you look at my my original thing, but original gear pack out, but I won't do that anymore because that's, there again, it's extra weight and it's just more trouble than it's worth. So I can drink out of this after I've heated. All I do is heat water and eat out of a plastic bag, you know. So titanium spoon, sport, Sea to Summit. This is my rocket, MSR pocket rocket. Love this thing. It was it's lightweight. It did well. Never failed me. And of course, you've got to have a lighter. I carried an extra lighter in my other case, and I didn't show that over there, but I carried one with this and then that. And then I'd put my top on my lid here, and you can put this in here. I covered mine with a plastic bag, so you can put that in there, and then you drop it down in here. Oops, got the things open. Drop it down in there and pull it tight, and then the lid, I'm not going to be able to, yep, maybe so. Anyway, when you get this all pulled up and cinched, it keeps this top on. So I did carry this. This is very light. So, and then I carried, I think you saw my video on quick fire. I enjoyed this thing. I've only used one though. I carried 4 or 5 of them or something, and I think I only used one, and it was like the last night and before I went into Hot Springs. So I would carry a few of these, and especially at first when it's cold and really damp, and you really need a fire and want a fire. These things are great. I mean, you just light the whole package, and even if it's all crumbled up, which mine was because of being in the pack. It was no big deal because you just light the edge of it here, and it just lights up immediately. I think you would enjoy that. Okay, guys, I think that covers everything, pretty much what I got. And if you got any questions or suggestions, please let's have some. I'm trying to go lighter next time, and I know the battery thing I can work on. And I just need to practice that and not do some big videos and stuff. And I'm sorry this one's long. And I know I could probably keep a little out of my pack. I know I can carry less water. I always carried too much water because I'd carry at least 2 liters, and then I would carry another little part that I mix my drinks in, my sports drinks in, you know, for hydration. So I know there's a lot I can do to improve, but I sure would appreciate y'all's expertise and any help that I can get out there. All right. Thank you, guys. See you later. More videos to come.